The past perfect tense in Spanish works the same way as the present perfect tense, but instead of indicating what someone has done, it speaks about what someone had done, hence it's in the past. Like the present perfect, the past perfect also uses the construction haber plus a past participle, but in this case, the verb haber has to be conjugated in a different way because the past perfect speaks of the imperfect past tense. For yo, you get yo había, I had, plus any past participle you want. For tú, you get tú habías, you had. Él había, he had, nosotros habíamos, we had, vosotros habíais, y'all had, and ellos habían, they had. Try not focusing on these pronouns because they're not that useful in conversation. The past perfect is often used with the word ya, meaning already, to indicate that an action had already occurred before another. Just like the present perfect, the past perfect also maintains the construction haber plus a past participle, which cannot be separated. Therefore, the word ya will always come before this construction. Saying a sentence like ella ya había salido means she had left already, or she already had left, if you want to visually translate the sentence. Similarly, I can say yo ya había estudiado, which means I had studied already, or I already had studied. However, these sentences are too easy to utilize, and oftentimes you'll see more complicated phrases, especially ones that involve the conjunction antes de plus a noun or an infinitive, which means before. For instance, saying antes de este año means before this year, which is an easy phrase to understand, but saying something like antes de llegar means before arriving. And I can use it in a sentence like antes de llegar a la escuela, yo ya había comido. Before arriving to the school, I had eaten already. Or antes de este mes, yo había trabajado mucho. Before this month, I had worked a lot. Of course, you can say any sentence you want using the past perfect in Spanish, including negatives, reflexive verbs, and direct and indirect object pronouns, and as a matter of fact, they're used the same way as in the present perfect. Saying a sentence like él me lo había mostrado means he had shown me it, with me and lo being the object pronouns, and if you want to put a negative in the sentence, you can say él nunca me lo había mostrado, he never had shown me it, or él no me lo había mostrado, he had not shown me it. Additionally, you can use reflexive verbs in the past perfect by putting the object pronouns of the verb before the construction haber plus a past participle. A useful sentence can be antes de ir al trabajo me había duchado. Before going to work, I had taken a shower. And as you can see, the construction of haber doesn't separate because the object pronoun of the reflexive verb is placed before this construction. And the same idea applies to every phrase that I've shown in the video and any phrase that you want to say. Personally, however, I don't recommend using the past perfect with reflexive verbs because there are not that many sentences that you can make with them, let alone useful sentences. Even though I don't like saying this quite often, I recommend not using the past perfect when speaking Spanish conversationally because it's a lot easier to express your thoughts using the regular past tense or the imperfect. Even though I did not present many examples in the video, I believe that the past perfect is the tense that's useful to know, but not that useful to utilize, because there are not that many sentences that you can make in the first place, but that of course depends on the context. And just like I concluded in the previous videos, I used to think of phrases like these in English when I was learning Spanish through English. Therefore, I thought that if the word had is the same in English, it must be the same in Spanish. But literally, Spanish has 3 tenses for these cases, which completely changes the word, and now you can hopefully understand why English is easier when it's compared to Spanish. And it's the same process that I had to go through. This has been the past perfect tense in Spanish. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I made your learning just a bit simpler.